one of the things that people, I think, at times can criticize parents who are very engaged with their children, who are trying to disciple them and train them and teach them and grow them.
Mm-hmm.
We're growing our kids.
Yes.
And they are like, hey, it's too much. Like, don't do that. And of course, there can be times where it is too much. And
Sure.
we can't control our kids ultimately. But there's a difference between a propagative cutting.
Mm-hmm.
This is pothos.
Mm-hmm.
If I take a cutting of this pothos and, what I don't do is I take a snippet and I throw it into one of our main growing fields with overhead irrigation and 9 hours of sun or whatever it is all day and the wind and all this stuff. And I hope it works out for you.
Yeah.
No, when we have a propagative cutting or we're germinating from seed, we stick it in a greenhouse.
Yeah.
And the greenhouse is climate controlled. It is. We monitor the temperature, wind, which we manufacture with fans, water, humidity, like where is it on the ground? How far off the ground? Weeds, pests, disease. It's a microclimate that we're protecting it. But it doesn't always stay in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
It stays in the greenhouse for a season, and then it moves to the next greenhouse that maybe has a little less controls, a little less temperature regulation, a little less perfection, sort of environment. And then it gets into a field that's shaded maybe, or a little bit less protected, but a little bit more in the elements. And then on and on and on until it's out there. And if it's an oak coming from an acorn, it's out there in the weather and the wind and the rain. But if you see these little plants when they're first being grown, they are easily scarred, Sean. They are so easily scarred, and the scar doesn't go away.
Yeah.
I mean, you scar it, you bend it, you break it, like that's it. Is it going to still grow? And yeah, but it'll be sort of jacked up.
Yeah.
And so what am I saying? I'm not saying that kids are, they're going to be scarred forever and it's not redeemable. God redeems all things.
Right.
That's not a fear thing.
Right.
But it's just a practical thing that
Sure.
there are seasons that we protect our babies,
Yep,
our
that's right.
newborn babies, and then they're toddlers. And then as they get older and older, the question isn't, do we protect them? It's how and at what point do we move them from greenhouse 1 to greenhouse 2 to field 1 to field 2 to okay, you're out in the full wide open culture element thing.
That's right.